Neither this mask nor this mask protects you from a deadly airborne virus. Period.
Rubber Rob TV.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yo, each and every day we're having to constantly get bombarded, whether on television or on the radio or whatever, with the pseudoscientific rhetoric to wear a mask, to wear a face mask, as if wearing this or this is going to protect you from a deadly airborne virus called the coronavirus or COVID-19, COVID, Rona, whatever you call it. Now, there is no scientific proof at all that wearing one of these is going to protect you from a deadly airborne virus. I was in the medical field for a very long 15 plus years. Now, anytime we walked into a patient room that had tuberculosis, we had to wear something called an N95 mask. And that N95 mask was used to protect us from all the cooties and goobers popping up out of their lungs. Okay, it wasn't to protect them from us, it was to protect us from them. So, with that being the case, if the mask that you are wearing is not an N95 mask, meaning that if it's one of these or one of these little cloth things, it's not protecting you from nothing. It's not protecting you from what they are calling, what the media is calling, a deadly airborne virus called COVID. I know. People are talking about, well, the CDC says this, and the government says this, and the news media is saying this. But that don't make it right. That does not make what they're telling you a fact. A matter of fact, I spoke to a friend of mine today who is a radio personality. He on the radio. Now, I spoke to him, and I told him, because we had a disagreement about him saying that using his platform to constantly put out this message that we need to mask up and everybody need to wear their mask and everybody need to put on a mask. So, we had words about that. And my thing is this. He does what he's told to do, period. Now, in the news media business, the program director gets their directives. The script writers write the scripts. The news anchors that you see on the radio, on television, and the radio personalities that you listen to, they get the copy. It's called copy, or a script that they read. And they are paid to read these scripts. They are paid to read this copy to the public. And they are paid to keep pushing this same message over and over again. Now, when I hit him up with the logic of how wearing a mask does not make sense to protect you from the coronavirus, he's like, well, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to lose my job? No, you're not supposed to lose your job. I wouldn't suggest you lose your job. Man got to eat. Man don't work, he don't eat. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that it puts you in a bind and in a peculiar predicament when you know the truth, but yet you're still having to lie to the public and lie to people. So, I don't know. What do I say? Take a stand. You take a stand for what's right, then maybe someone else would take a stand. And then maybe someone else would take a stand. But the truth is the truth. And logic is logic. Common sense is common sense. This paper mask not going to protect you from the coronavirus. It's not going to protect you if there is such a thing, because all these tests that they're saying that, these numbers are sky high, these numbers are skyrocketing now, and all of that stuff. Well, your test kits are faulty, CDC. All these test kits are faulty. Let me ask you something. Just use your brain for 1 second now. Now, let's say a person has AIDS. They get tested for AIDS 9 o'clock in the morning. And do you think their results are going to change at 12 o'clock? Just a few hours later? No, if you got AIDS, you got AIDS. So, how is it that people can get tested at 9 o'clock in the morning and get a positive test result for the coronavirus, and then at 12 o'clock, few hours later, they're negative? Or the next day, they're negative? That lets you know that either something's wrong with the test kit, that is faulty, and they never had it in the first place. So until you can provide a 100% test kit that's going to give accurate results Don't come at me telling me nothing about no cases. Don't come at me telling me nothing about no numbers, because those numbers that you have are not correct and they cannot be 100% confirmed. Don't try to push or mandate wearing these funky things when they don't protect you from nothing. If you're not wearing a respirator, you're not being protected from a deadly airborne virus. Ask any virologist this. They would tell you that. Your N95 mask is probably the only mask that's worn in the medical field that will protect you from airborne pathogens. Period. Not no surgical, whatever this is, mask, not this junk, not no t-shirt, not no handkerchief, not no underwear, panties, none of that stuff. That's not going to protect you from nothing. And if the coronavirus, here's the thing, if the coronavirus is a deadly airborne virus, and as we're being told, then they are sending a mixed message, or they're sending a mixed message telling the public that wearing one of these is going to protect them from it. If it's a deadly airborne virus. Now, if it's not a deadly airborne virus, they need to reveal that as well, instead of trying to push this agenda with these vaccines and all that stuff. Because I'm sorry, nothing shut down before. Nothing shuts down with the flu. How many people die from the flu every year? How many people catch the flu every year? Why is it that the hospitals are saying that people need to be labeled as a positive COVID patient when they're in the hospital for something else? Why is it that the hospitals are placing this label in people's medical records when people are there for something else? I've seen it time and time again and heard it numerous times of people coming to the hospital having a blood clot in their leg. The blood clot breaks loose. It goes to their lung. They get a pulmonary embolism and it kills them. In their chart, they listed as the patient died from the coronavirus, when everybody and their grandmama know that the patient died due to a PE, due to a pulmonary embolism. But the hospitals are getting paid extra money because every COVID patient that dies in their hospital, they get a chunk of change. Well, that's not right. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and I told him, he's all up on this. Well, when Governor Perdue, he was in a confidential, they said that he was in a confidential Senate meeting, and, as soon as he got out, that he went out and he sold all his stock. What stock did he sell? How much of these millions of dollars of stock did he sell? What was it in? Was it in the airlines? Because as soon as I heard that people coming from China that were going to Europe and Italy and stuff like that, I knew that was coming over here. So whatever stock I had, if I had stock in the airlines, I would have sold it too. And that was before Trump at the end of January stopped planes from entering the United States. So what stock did he sell? It's so many people. That's the problem. It's so many people out here just running their mouths and being a freaking repeater. Stop being a repeater. Do some doggone research sometimes. So many people out here. I know you see it on the commercials. You see it on the Allsoft commercials. You see it about the other lady who's running for Senate in Georgia and stuff. And they're talking the same thing about they were in confidential meetings and they sold their stock. But yet they can't tell you not one stock that they sold. What if they sold stock in Amazon? What if they sold millions of dollars in stock in Amazon? Oh, they sold millions of dollars in stock. What stock was that? All of y'all sound ignorant. All of y'all sound real ignorant, repeating this stuff, and you don't even know nothing. What would you say about Bo Jackson? You don't know diddly. You don't know diddly, but you being a doggone repeater. But going back to the purpose of this video was about these masks that don't protect you from nothing, but yet they want you to wear it when you go in the stores, when you go into these businesses, when you're walking on the street. They want you to wear a doggone mask to protect you from the deadly airborne coronavirus. This is the most pseudoscientific and polite airborne disease I have ever seen in my life. This is the most polite airborne virus that I've ever seen, because it's not going to mess with you when you eat food. It's not going to mess with you when you go to football games. Man, just think about it. Use your common sense, people. But then that ain't coming to everybody. It's Rebel Rob. I'm out.